Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, welcome. If you're old, welcome back. On today's video, I'll be showing you how to hook up your octo to your dive cylinder. And what we need to do first is, before we hook that up, we always make sure we check the valves here, especially this O-ring right here. We have to check this O-ring to make sure it's not cracked or anything, because if this is cracked, we can't use it. We have to make sure that it's not cracked. So what we do is, okay, you can see how it's not cracked here. It's not cracked. So now we can go ahead and hook up our octo. But what we do is, we got to make sure that we keep the gauge on the left side, not on the right. Don't ever put it on the right, because if we put it on the right, it'll be backwards, and plus it won't seal. So we have to have the perfect seal. So what we do is, we put it on there, just like this, and we make sure we put. See how it's tangled here. It's not right here. Plus it's upside down there. Plus it's upside down there. See what I mean? Never ever do it like that. And then we have to put it onto here, just like this. And then make sure it's perfect seal. Make sure it's tight. Make sure it's tight on there. For the perfect seal there, we have to make sure that it's perfect seal. Okay, now that we got that hooked up, now we can go ahead and flip it over. And always want to make sure that your gauge is flipped over just like this. And then we can go ahead and turn it on. If it's tight, you should hear this kind of sound if it's tight. You can see how that sound was. Okay, and notice how I did not turn it back a quarter, because that would damage the tank here. So that's why I'm gonna do that. So now once that's taken care of, now we can go ahead and test our gear just by looking at the gauge. Now we can flip the gauge back over for that, and we can do the gauge by going like this. Okay, that one's set. That one's good. And we go ahead again, go like this again. Okay, that's good. Okay, now see if the gauge is hooked up right. Now if it's hooked up right, you should be able to see. Now it's gonna be some. Because if it's hooked up right, you should be able to see the bubbles coming out of the cylinder, because as we breathe, all the air is coming from the tank and our hoses. That's what feeds our regulator. And as you can see right here, you can see the bubbles coming up. And as we breathe through this, all that air is coming through the cylinder, up through the valve, and through our hoses. That's what feeds our hoses, and that's what feeds our regulator with air, so we can breathe that. But if for any reason that this gets pinched, we have absolutely no air, because if this gets pinched in any way, we have no air. So that's why we always make sure that this goes through inspection, and that honestly, we always test it before each dive. Even though we filled it, we still test it. We have to test it at each dive. So that's why we do that. And then the thing is, the number one thing is, though, when we turn it on, that we always have the gauge flipped over and away from us, because in that way, you see right there how it does. You can see right there how it does right there. How it does right there. So yeah, that's why you always want to make sure. And you see, I'm down at the boat there at 29 feet. You can see how the bubbles are coming out when I breathe. That's because, okay, now once that footage gets done, you're going to see another footage, and it's on my channel also. You can go check it out on my channel also. This is on my channel too. And then the other one coming up is right here. You can see where the bubbles are coming out each time I breathe and exhale. It comes out. And notice how we have the first area right there. That's because we don't use that one. That was only for spare air. So in case everybody has problems and they're out of here, we can just go ahead then and give them the first area. So yeah, so that's right. And then to close it, okay, once that footage gets done there, then we will take it and then we will close and shut the tank off. And this is how we shut the tank off, by this knob right here. We shut the tank off like that. And then we will look at the gauge, grab our regulator, and purge it. And you can see the gauge going down. That's how we know it's off. So yeah, I mean, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to put them down in the comment section down below. And notice how I have my friend's dive shop on my on the show here that he gave me the PDR. Can also help you too on this. The dive shop can also help you too. So yeah, I mean, it's actually one of the tanks, and actually this is the octo that I bought from him. I bought the octo from him. I bought the 2 cylinders from him, from PDR right here. And yes, YouTube, I do have his permission to use, advertise from. So I do have his permission. He gave me Steve gave me permission to use this. So I'm allowed to use this in all my diving videos that I do. So yeah, if you have any questions or comments, please put them in the comment section down below. And hope everybody's having a fantastic day, evening, and make sure you hit that subscribe button and turn on post notifications so that you don't miss a single upload. And I will see you in the next one, and stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye everyone. See you in the next one.